If you're looking for a small business loan or a revolving line of credit, we can literally get you funded up to about $250,000 in under 24 hours.
What's up, winners? My name is Nam. If you're new here, welcome. Here we talk all things personal finance and credit. Start down by subscribing so you don't miss out on any future videos. And so in today's video, we have a special guest, Joe from National Business Capital. So Joe, tell us more about yourself and National Business Capital.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, thank you first off for having me, Nam. I appreciate it. Also a big fan of your show. Great stuff. Love all the work that you're putting in, all the great content you're putting out there. So thank you for that. And thanks again for having me. Yeah, so a little bit about National. I'm the CEO of National Business Capital. I founded National in 2007 out of my spare bedroom. It was very slow and steady in the beginning, just me trying to be the local, basically business consultant to help owners get financing. And fast forward to today, we've built an amazing platform. We have an amazing award-winning team, great people here, and we've helped secure now over $1 billion in financing for business owners all across the country in all states, in all different industries. Today the platform has over 75 different business lenders on it. These are all quality different lenders, and what we've done is basically digitalized and streamlined the whole process to apply for business financing. You can apply in one place and we'll match you to the right 1, 2, or 3 lenders that make sense for your business. And it's very difficult when, there's all types of financing programs that are out there for your business, but depending on what you're looking to get accomplished in your business, whatever your challenge or opportunity may be, that lender can really change. So you may need a business line of credit, you may need a term loan, a small business loan, you may need to finance equipment, an SBA loan. There's so many different, programs out there. So what we do is through technology and then really smart people in my office, we match you with the right lender, and we do that very quickly.
So essentially, you are like a marketplace for business lending, right?
That's exactly right. We're a giant marketplace. We have all the lenders in one place. And then I think what makes us different is, because when I got started in 2007, a lot of these lenders didn't even have, there's a lot of private lenders out there. They didn't even have a website. And it was very limited when I got started as far as the amount of lenders that were out there. Fast forward to today, 2021, there is a ton of lenders out there. So you Google, small business loan and a million things come up, which makes it even more difficult today. So you can come to one place. You can apply digitally, which is awesome. And a lot of places you can apply digitally online now. That's become the normal way. But what makes us really different, and this is what's important, is you can speak to someone here that really gets it, understands all the different lenders, the guidelines, the products, more importantly, understands and will get your business. And through a conversation about what's going on, they can explain to you your options that are available or won't be available and why. And if you're wanting something specific and you can't get approved for it, we can explain to you what you'll need to do in order to get approved. And being able to, every company today is trying to do, everything via no humans. There's such a lack of focus on people. We put such a focus on people here at National, which I think makes a huge difference. And, our business owners, which are, entrepreneurs, hands-on owners, making it happen every day in their business, they don't have time to meddle around online and figure it out on their own. They need to speak with someone, and they need to know who they're speaking to can be trusted and is reliable, and the info that they're getting is accurate.
So essentially going to you guys rather than going to a bank where it may be a little bit more challenging and they may not have all the access to all the lenders available to them, because every single business is unique in its own way, right? Because maybe a certain lender may not work with like a pizza shop or maybe a clothing store. With National, you kind of essentially help the business get the lender that lends to that sort of business. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. We just move we move really fast, and speed and efficiency is really, one of our biggest things. But, going to a bank, banks like certain industries, and then some banks like big industries, some banks love a certain set versus another bank, liking, only a specific group of industries. And it kind of goes the same thing with non-bank lenders. We have SBA lenders on a platform, which are usually backed by some sort of a bank. Every lender's got an appetite for the certain type of customer that they like, whether it's bank or non-bank. To your point, like if you're a pizza shop, There's some lenders that love restaurants. They only focus on restaurants. There's certain lenders that if you brought them a pizza shop, you might get an approval, but it absolutely won't be the best one, or you might just get declined. And it has nothing to do with your credit or your sales or anything. It's just that lender doesn't like your industry. So it's it's very key and important that you're getting to that right, to that right lender. And then those guidelines are changing like constantly. Every week we do a lender update and talk about changes, guideline changes. So our team's armed with the right information so they can, better serve our clients.
So with your company, like with other fintech companies that are in lending, business lending, a lot of them, they only have like a chat box and their customer service they tend to not be like the greatest. So you guys have like a full dedicated team that handles calls, and a business owner, they want to talk to someone actually on the phone. You guys have a team to handle that, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, we have a big in-house team. We have a ton of employees, and you can actually call in and speak with someone, and they're here, in the actual, they're here in the office in the U.S. and they know what's going on. It's not outsourced, not outsourced customer service. We don't believe in chatbots. I mean, there's a chatbot on our website for some basic stuff or to set a call back or an appointment. But for, the conversations that are necessary when you're going to borrow, if you're going to borrow 50,000, 100,000, 250, $500,000, $2 million plus dollars, you might want to speak with somebody that, knows what they're talking about.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good thing, because especially I feel like when you're handling that much amount of money, I feel like it's just more comfortable just to talk to someone on the phone. Like, hey, I'm going to actually get money from you guys. Like maybe you give me some customer service. So there's going to be a lot of people in the audience that are going to be watching this video that are maybe new to business lending, or they're trying to seek business lending for the first time. Can you go a little bit over about like the underwriting process, credit scores? What are you looking for mainly for a business when you approve them for lending?
Yeah, it's a great question. And we help people that have, challenge credit, and, we definitely respect that owners, sacrifice their credit while building their business. And then we also help owners that have excellent credit, 750 plus, 800 plus credit scores. So we work on both ends of the spectrum, which is great. So it doesn't really matter of your credit profile, whether you're excellent credit or poor credit. We work with everyone here. Mainly what we're looking for is, or really I think like the bare minimums to apply. And I'm just going to use bare minimums. And obviously the better it is, or the more dollars you do, most likely potentially the better the approval. But typically we like to see someone at least 1 year in business. We've funded many deals where people have only been in business 3 or 6 months, or people who are looking to start up a new business when we've done an SBA loan. But typically you need to be 1 year in business. Every type of lending institution, business or non-business, will look at your personal credit score. So obviously the better your personal credit score, the easier it's going to make us the more access to the best programs that are out there. We don't focus on credit. So you can have like the worst credit score possible, but have a great business with great cash flow, and we can help you. So 1 year time in business, we like to see it that you're doing at least $10,000 a month in gross sales. So about $120,000 annually in gross sales. That's the bare minimum. The more you're doing in sales, most likely the larger your approval could be. So 1 year time in business, at least $10,000 in sales. That's a start. You can qualify for a credit line product. You can qualify for our small business loan product. We also have some equipment financing programs where if you've got at least a 680 credit score or higher, only an application, we don't need any financials, all the way up to financing $150,000 piece of equipment. And then really from there, and then really any industry will work with, any type of industry, including the cannabis space. So, it doesn't really matter, the type of business. We work with all businesses.
So I know a lot of people are kind of like concerned about like personal guarantees. Is there any possibility of getting business lending without getting your personal credit ran, or having a different type of guarantee like assets or something like that rather than your own personal?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So most products today will require a personal guarantee, but there are still products available where there's not a personal guarantee. And we offer those products as well. So when you apply with us, we can talk through the differences in what's personally guaranteed, what's not. But, when you think about today, like even like your business credit card is personally guaranteed, If you get a line of credit from a bank today, it's usually personally guaranteed for your business. So most things are personally guaranteed today, but there still are a few products out there that are not. And if that's a concern, we can talk through and explain which of those products are and see if you qualify and provide those for you.
Since you kind of went over the criteria, what you guys are mainly looking for in a business before approving them for lending, had you ever worked with a client that initially did not get approved for business lending and they end up getting approved? Like, was there a process, or do you have a story that you can tell us or tell the audience of like how it happened and how it turned out?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, we constantly have people that come to us all the time that were declined from a bank or were declined from another non-bank lender out there online. And then they came to us and we were immediately able to get them approved. We had a story recently. It was a really cool story. Great hands-on business owner. He's in the trucking business, transportation business, and is moving a lot of stuff around for Amazon and for Walmart. And, long story short, he had sacrificed his credit build in his business, which we completely get. He was only in business for, I think, 3 years. His credit score was like a 600, 620. So not horrible, but definitely not bankable. And other lenders in the non-bank world on fintech online, are even looking for better credit today as well too. So he was declined by his bank and also by a few other lenders outside of the bank. He was getting really frustrated. He was 60 days into shopping around for financing, that's just all challenging within itself. Came to us, he had the opportunity to purchase 2 more trucks, and we were able to pull in one of our leasing lenders. We got both of those trucks financed, and he basically had 2 trucks out in the road. So by doing this, and getting the financing, and we're going to be able to work with him to get him additional trucks, he was able to literally double his sales by us coming through on the financing. He couldn't have been happier. And we got that done we had an approval in 3 business days, and we got him funded in like 10 days. And that's longer for us. Like typically, when it comes to equipment financing, there's a little bit more that's entailed because you have a vendor involved and where you're buying the equipment from. But we've been able to get people up to $250,000 in under 24 hours. So he was really happy, very thankful, and he got secured his 2 trucks. We needed to move quickly because he put deposits down on those trucks, and he was literally about to lose them. So about to lose the deposit because they had another buyer and someone that wanted to buy them. And a lot of these things are, a lot of things right now because of COVID are really hard to get your hands on. So he had 1 day left. Otherwise, they were going to sell them to somebody else, and we made it happen. So that's cool. It made me feel and the team feel good.
Dang, that's an amazing story. So very last minute stuff. So typically, what is the time range? Because you said that you were able to get funding like within 10 days. For you guys can get within 24 hours. Like what's usually a timeline for the business to receive the lending? Is it just depending on the business, the lender, or like what causes that?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So it does depend on the lending product. Like if we're going to go for an SBA loan, that's going to take 30 to 45 to 60 days. Obviously, the quicker you get us your documentation, the more organized you are, the faster we can work. But if you're looking for a small business loan or a revolving line of credit, we can literally get you funded up to about $250,000 in under 24 hours. So it's fast. 1 to 3 business days is pretty realistic. But right now, you can come to us right on our website. You can apply with digital application. We do a secure bank connection. So we literally connect right to your bank. We pull all that information and we aggregate it up. And then our system is directly connected to a lot of and majority of our lenders' underwriting systems. So we push that information right to them. They push us back in an approval. We'll take those 1 or 2 or 3 approvals right back to the business owner, the customer. We'll go over those approvals. And then from there, if they like it, there's usually a few final stipulations of a few, they might need 1 or 2 additional docs. We send you out an agreement digitally, you confirm it, sign it, and boom, money's in your bank account. So it's extremely fast, which is really cool. And then some of the other programs, depending on what it is, if it's a larger loan, there might, we're doing $1 million or $2 million or $5 million. there's usually a little bit more of, back and forth and additional information that will be needed. But, we work as quickly as the customer wants us to work with them. And we've got the abilities to work as fast as you really need, which is really great.
For me as a business owner, what would you recommend me to make the process as smoothly and quickly as possible? What would you think? What would your advice for me if I'm seeking business lending to get everything to move smoothly and fast?
It's a good question. So depending on the product, we'll make up what you would need. And usually we'll talk through that and we'll tell you what it's going to be. Right now it's a digital application, so you don't have to fill anything out handwritten anymore. So that automatically just speeds it up. You can do it right from your computer, your handheld device in 2 seconds. That's really easy. We can do the secure bank connection and pull in, last 6 months of your business banking history right into our system. So that avoids you having to send over a bank statements. If you don't want to do the secure bank connection, then we're going to need 3 to 6 months of your bank statements. And then if you're going to start to go above $250,000, we're usually going to need, like your last year's and year date financials. And then, we may need to see a tax return. So, you just want to make sure that you have access to all that stuff. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. You're running around, you're out in the field, you might not be able to send it where you are. So just be ready to send that stuff. Besides that, I mean, we can even do deals like up to $500,000 without financials. So, which is a lot of money to not need financials for. But, if you're going to go for an amount over 150, 250,000, expect that you're going to need your financials in order. And you want to make sure that stuff is accurate, is really important. We'll usually need like a voided check and a driver's license. So you want to just make sure that you have access to things that, typically would make sense when you're going applying for financing and be able to send them over easily. And I think a lot of that stuff too, today things are just moving so fast. Like save all that stuff on a personal folder for yourself so you have access to it at any point. So when you need to usually when you need financing, it's for an opportunity or challenge and you need the money yesterday. Always keep all your stuff together in one place so you can easily send it out to anyone or a lender with a click of a button. You don't have to fiddle around and go online and download it and deal with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because the more organized the business owner is, the easier it is for you guys, essentially, right?
Yeah, and I always say get that stuff together. Like sometimes people won't update their financials, on a monthly basis. Like get in the habit of doing it. Have your bookkeeper or controller. And there's so many, we offer like an online bookkeeping service. Get that stuff together, and if it's not together, you got to work with someone in your team to have that stuff always up to date and ready to go. One of the most important things is, especially with lending today, it's really on cash flow. The better that the lenders can see you can manage your cash flow, the better it is. So you keeping money in your bank account on a daily basis. Now, obviously, if you're growing and nonstop, it's, a lot of people say, well, this is why I need to borrow money, because I'm nonstop. Money comes in, money goes out. And I get that. But, if you can keep at least a few $1,000s, a month, a day in the bank account, that's really important. Like don't go below $2,000 or $3,000 on a daily basis in your bank account. And, some businesses just go right down to zero, the way that they operate and run their business. And obviously the more dollars you're going to keep in there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 plus thousand, like the more money you can keep in your account, the stronger, most likely your approval will be. I get when you're growing and scaling, sometimes it's easier said than done. If you know that you're going to go apply for financing, make sure you're keeping good cash flow in your bank statements.
Yeah. So having cash reserves is an important key to getting approved, essentially, right?
It is. The lenders don't because everything's going to get auto debited out of your bank account today, whether it's a daily, weekly, monthly or monthly basis. All lending payments are now auto debited. So if, just about all payments. So if the lenders can't, see that you can, manage your money, it definitely throws up a red flag. So, if you've got negative, days or NSF fees, they really don't like to see that. And it's so, as you're getting prepared for lending, you want to keep, really manage those bank statements, especially the most the last 3 months. It's super, super important. And what I would say is, too, being that, opportunities just pop up sporadically. Just a lot of people say, oh, I don't, I'm good. I'm not going to need money, and just because you're borrowing money doesn't mean things are bad. You might have an amazing opportunity if you only had an extra 100 grand or 200 grand that you can make it happen. So like always treat your business like at any point you're ready to go apply for financing. And sometimes the best time to go get a credit line is when you don't need it, because that's when things are really good. You should always have some sort of a credit line or something on the sidelines, because you never know when opportunity or challenges strike.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially like from business owners and things like that, because I think a lot of people think about seeking business lending whenever they need money, right? They never think about it when everything is good, like until like an opportunity arises. Like for you, like you and your business, had you ever faced like any financial challenges, whether you're trying to grow, scale, or anything like that before?
Oh my God. I mean, when I was getting started, I mean, I had, I racked up, credit cards, my whole personal savings, 401k, I mean, you name it. When I started my business, I had money in the bank and zero debt. And then very quickly I had a lot of debt and no money in the bank. So, getting a business going, like it's way more cash intensive than you can imagine. And I think what I did and what most business owners do, they underestimate how much money they're going to need. And then they also underestimate how quickly they think they're going to make money. So you always think that you're going to make money way faster, and it's always way longer than what you expect. And you always think it's going to cost X amount of dollars, and it's way more, So when you're growing too, so whether in the beginning, it's hands down the most, cash intensive, point of most businesses. But then once you kind of break through that, and then you go into like real growth mode and start hiring and expanding, when people are growing and have an opportunity, that's actually, when they need more money. Most business owners that are coming to us are growing rapidly. So people that are coming to us aren't like in a bad situation and just, need to borrow money. And people that come to us don't all have challenge credit. Like some have challenge credit, but most people that come to us actually have great credit, and they're tapped out at the bank. Like the bank won't give them any more money, or they've gone to the bank and they don't have any like assets like real estate or their receivables, like they invoice customers. They're not if they're selling to consumers, they don't have receivables that are valuable to a bank. A lot of times a bank won't lend someone money. They might have great cash flow and excellent credit, but they don't have any type of assets that the banks like, meaning real estate or receivable assets. So the bank won't lend to them, or they've borrowed 100 grand from the bank won't give them more money. They're growing way too fast for the bank. So most people actually need more money when they're growing fast. So that's pretty interesting.
So this whole conversation has been really, really good. I think it was very inspirational, plus like educational for the audience if they are trying to seek any type of business lending or funding, equipment financing, or any type of financing, really. I always like to do this towards the end of my show. Since we talk about credit all the time, what credit cards or things that you use in your wallet on your everyday spending or on a monthly basis for you personally and for your business?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. So what's in my wallet? So I have a Platinum American Express for the business. And then, personally, I have a few different cards from like, Capital One cash back to, I have a black card. It's a MasterCard black card by Barclays. It's like $300 a year. It comes with an awesome concierge service. And also great points. And I use that for travel. And then I have a JetBlue card to rack up JetBlue, points. And I try and put every single bill possible on my credit card so I can rack up points and then, use them for usually travel. Well, I've got a lot of points because I haven't traveled much in the past.
Of course, the past 2 years.
But I'm looking forward to using those points.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I always tell everybody that like watches my channels, like, you just use a credit card, pass it, like, because it's easy money, right? As long as you use it responsibly, pay it off every single month, it's just 1 to a couple of percent back, like, it's essentially kind of free money, if you pay it off every single month, treat it like a debit card,
I tell everybody the same thing. Like, I mean, put every single household bill on your credit card that you can, and then utilize those points. It's a no-brainer, especially if you're using your debit card, plus, putting on your personal card, you're building your credit as long as you're being responsible and paying the bill off, and not racking debt. But, all your household things you're paying for anyways, you might as well, put it on a card and take advantage of the points.
So it's been a pleasure talking with Joe. Where can people connect with you more, and where can they learn more about National Business Capital?
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. So you can go to nationalbusinesscapital.com. That's nationalbusinesscapital.com. And if you would like to follow me, connect with me, you go to my YouTube channel, which is Grow by Joe. So check me out there. Again, Grow by Joe. And I hope you hope you follow me. I put out tons of, content around business financing and things that are happening, in the now. And I'm sure in the description, I know Nam will drop in all the links. And if you have any questions, just reach out through those links, and you can connect with anybody on my team, and they're happy to help talk through any challenges or opportunities that you're experiencing in your business that you need financing for.
Awesome. All right, guys. So that you heard from the man himself, the CEO of National Business Capital, about the keys to business lending. All the links will be down in the description. So I'll see you guys in my next videos.